Speaker, facilitator, sharing personal experience through humor and stories. He's an author of 2 books, The Book of Light, The Heart Opening, and 90 Days of Heat, Freedom Through Moksha. David likes us all to roar. Let us welcome him back.
So there was a woman, and she showed up at church, and she saw the usher, and she asked the usher if she can sit in the front row. And the usher said, "Ma'am, I'm going to be honest with you, our minister is boring. You might fall asleep. I could put you anywhere else in the church." And the woman was appalled. She said, "Do you know who I am?" And the usher said, "No." She said, "I am the minister's mom." And he said, "Do you know who I am?" And she said, "No." And he said, "Thank God." So we are here in service today to celebrate and honor something that we rarely talk about. And when we talk about it, we talk about it from an intellectual standpoint. But we are moving into a new paradigm on this planet. And it doesn't look that way right now for some of us. But we are moving into a paradigm of heart-centeredness, to honor and devote your life to your heart. Now, I wrote a book called The Book of Light, The Heart Opening, which breaks down what I'm speaking about today. So I'm going to be simple about it. The queen is the heart. So we're coming back to the queen. And the queen tells the king, and we know he's the king because it's spelled M-E-N-T-A-L, mental. So she directs him on where she wants to go, and he is more than happy to lead. He just doesn't have a purpose if he's separated from her. So right now we live in a society where a lot of individuals are separated from their heart. They're separated from her. They're separated from the feminine. And yet she's rising. And it's not so much about a physical or stereotypical thing, because I've had some men question what I'm talking about. It has nothing to do with your lifestyle or where you are in your life. We are talking about an energetic connection, a marriage that is happening inside of each one of us right now. And she is rising, and she is asking us to hear her. And we are being called now to come down to the altar of our hearts and alter our lifestyle. And we can try to run as much as we can from her, and she will not allow it. So we might as well just succumb. We might as well just surrender. We might as well just give in. Because she has been waiting for thousands of years for us to come back home. She's been waiting for each and every one of us. It's the reason why I feel like a lot of people kind of have a babbling mind. A noise-filled mind. See, the mind wants directive. But the mind can't get a manifestation going quickly unless it has her with it. Because she gives emotion, she gives feeling to the action. And that manifests quicker than just a mind that's like, I want this, I want that, I don't have enough, I'm not good enough. And we all do a dance. And we tell that dance to people. How's your life going? I don't know. Dad, they did this, and I judge you, and you're not this. We've all been around it, right? Yeah. We've been around people that have unforgiveness. In fact, that may be us here. You may have some sort of unforgiveness. So, what is this unforgiveness? Because when we forgive, what exactly are we doing? We're finally acknowledging and accepting that it happened. So unforgiveness is just a denial and non-acceptance of something that actually happened. So it's almost insane. And we come to a spiritual center, and it's made to be like an airy-fairy thing sometimes. We all must forgive. We have to forgive. Well, why? Well, because we need to accept that it happened. Because it helps us move. So she is calling us forward right now to accept. We are leaving the idea to fight something. We are leaving the idea of resistance. We are leaving the idea of resisting anything because we're not in a Star Wars movie. We're not fighting the Empire. We're not resisting anything. We're standing for something here at Unity, because when we stand for something, the energetic moves faster. If I stand for equality, if I stand for justice, if I stand for love, if I stand for compassion, that's a movement. Am I denying anything around me? No, I can hear you, but as the scripture just said, we're here to understand. Lord, help me understand. And we get quiet, and we ask for understanding, and we ask for wisdom, and we discern what's happening in our lives right now. And then in that discernment, she's going to tell you, and you're going to know, move. Stay still. That's how beautiful she is. Your heart is so beautiful and magnificent that once you listen to her, she's going to let you know what to do. She's not reactionary. The mind is reactionary. She is responsive. Why is she responsive? Because she knows that she's safe. Do you know that you're safe? Does everybody here know that internally you're safe? I mean, really, can you feel that you're safe? I'm safe in my heart. Do you feel safe in your heart? Because if you're safe in your heart, then you're always here. Because the heart knows nothing of time. It doesn't know about the future or the past or them or you or me or any kind of separation. It only knows now. So it is always in unconditional acceptance. Now, does that mean that if there's injustice in our life, that the heart does not rise to the occasion and roar? Of course it does. But it does it from a different energetic than the mind. So we are walking in a world that is teaching us a condition of separation, of not enoughness, of all this stuff. And we come here and we are learning that we can trust ourselves. That we can have complete faith right here. And why do we have faith? Because we know the answer's here. And when we're quiet enough, the answer comes forward. Because there can't be any problems in God if there's no problems in the first place, except for problems that we create. And so we are leaving a place of seeking and searching and all this wonderful stuff, and we're realizing that the heart is it, that she is it, the queen. And when you go to a queen, or you go to a film and you watch a movie on kings and queens, and then you come to the queen, you never see a queen in a state of panic. Right? I mean, maybe you do. I don't know. I mean, I haven't, but who knows? But they don't come to the queen and say we're in trouble. She's like, oh my God, we're in trouble. What are we going to do? It's like a Marx Brother routine as she's running around thinking, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? No. She has so much grace and love and knows exactly who she is and where she is. And she stands at an I am presence and she listens. She listens inwardly until she's incited. Insightfulness, inspiration, and then she moves, then she acts. That's a different energetic than what we're in right now. Right now, the energetic that is being played out is two sides that are resisting each other, that lack understanding. They don't want understanding because they want to prove that both sides are right. So, individually, which means undivided, here at Unity, we stand centered in our heart and mind, and we discern. Something happens right here, it brings an emotion up. We sit with the emotion, and we allow it to flow through. And we walk with an open heart. That's the story of David and Goliath. When I was a kid, my family bought me David and Goliath, told by Burl Ives. So I used to listen to David and Goliath all the time, and I was a lanky, introverted, sensitive boy. And so at that time growing up, that wasn't looked upon kindly. They wanted you to be more athletic and physically fit, all kinds of stuff. I just read books and made art and cried. So I mean, but the point being is, when you listen to David and Goliath, What makes David so special in that story is the same thing that makes you special. Right. You have soldiers who have weapons. They have swords and shields and armor and everything. This massive man is there, Goliath. And he says, I'll fight any one of you. None of them do it. Except for David, the shepherd. He shows up. He's got no armor. He's got no shield. He's got no sword. He doesn't have brute strength. He just has faith in God. And he goes, I'll do it. I'll do it. I got a little sling. I'll do it. And he knocks Goliath down. Psychologically, what does that tell us? It tells us that when we walk with an open heart and we give up our defense, we stop defending our point of view, we stop defending all these things that we talk about, rather than just going, I have no idea what's happening. We give up being right. We put down the sword of being right, and we stand here in not knowing, with an open heart, in faith, and we listen to her. We listen to her. And then we respond. And response is the same thing as responsibility. Able to respond. That's why it's called responsibility. Your responsibility is that you know that you are able to respond to any situation. And the heart responds to each other. Right? It responds from complete equality because we are equal in the heart. Doesn't matter all the other stuff. We are equal. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter how much money you have or how little money you think you have or any of that other stuff, because your worthiness is priceless. No one can take your worth away. The only person that can take your worth away is a thought pattern that you tell yourself that you're not worthy, which is BS, a belief system. Belief systems are not true, so we stand in truth. Hate, just so you know, is a mass of inverted love. So a hateful person has so much love, but because they were hurt and wounded and all kinds of stuff, they're going to turn it around. So if you could stand in front of a person that's filled with hate, like Martin Luther King, someone spit on Martin Luther King, and he took a handkerchief out, and he took the spit off, and he gave it to the person. He said, I believe this belongs to you. Do you have that power in you? Yes. Yes, you do. How do I know that? Because Martin Luther King did. How do I know that you have love in you? Because I've seen examples of people that have love, and they're exactly like you. How do I know that you can rise up and roar and be who you are and go for your dreams and not look back? Because there are millions of examples of people that are doing it. Look for those examples. Look for people that are making a difference and follow them. Stand for something and follow that group. That's an abundant heart. That's abundant living. That's a wealth consciousness. That's a way that we are moving right now. Yes. That child is saying amen. Sound good?
Yeah.
So this week, the call is to be in your heart and fall in love with your heart. Can you fall deeply in love with your heart like you choose to fall in love with a partner? And then can you fall in love so passionately with your own heart that when you look at someone, you can't help but love them because that's all that's coming from you. We're not trying to find love. I'm not looking at somebody going, there's good in them. Oh yeah. What's happening is I have the understanding and the wisdom that God is here. I'm going to share this last story before I tell a joke. A young man came into a Starbucks and sat right down next to me in a bag of clothes. His clothes were a little bit messed up. He had tattoos all over his body. He sat down next to me and just started talking. So I was listening. Yes. And what came forward was, I am here. That was the mantra. I am here. Over and over. I just listened. He was talking. Tell me that he got beat up on Hollywood Boulevard and just got out of the hospital and all kinds of stuff. I'm listening, I'm here, saying nothing. There's nothing to fix or change or anything. He just needs someone to listen. Then he looks at me and he says, thank you. And I said, for what? And he said, for listening. I said, yeah, no problem. And he goes, I appreciate you. No, and I appreciate you too. Because nobody wants to listen. And I'm all right. They're too busy. They're too busy on their phones or computers, what they're doing tomorrow, what's happening right now. They're too preoccupied with everything other than her. She needs attention. She needs to be loved. She's yearning to be loved. You have that power in you. You have that power because you were born in the image and the likeness of God itself. And so with that, there's two baseball players. Two famous baseball pitchers. And they were curious, was there baseball in heaven? On a fateful day, one of the baseball players passed away. And he shows up to his friend's dream. And he goes, hey, I got good news, I got bad news. The good news is, there's baseball in heaven. The bad news is, you pitch Thursday. So continue to walk your walk. Don't believe your speaker. Don't believe me. Don't follow me. Don't look up to me. Don't do any of it. Everything that was spoken, take it to heart, bring it out into your life, and walk the walk. We need walkers. We don't need talkers anymore. We need action-oriented beings that are walking in love, compassion, kindness, that are roaring. That when they see their fellow man hurting, that they're there for them. That's what we need right now. That's why you're here. You're here at Unity, not just to show up on a Sunday. You're here to get your lesson, take it out in the world as practice, and to see what this walk is like. We are in a situation right now where the power of love is needed more than anything else. And the power of affection and holding each other and embracing each other is needed more than anything else. And we need to be examples for our kids, for the teenagers, for everybody that's looking to us right now. And there's no way we can turn our back. None of us. It's not if you're left or right or positive or negative. I'm not talking about any of that. That's completely up to you. Those are your opinions. I am speaking to and solely to the heart. That we need to resonate as heart-centered leaders and live in inclusion. Where everywhere that we go, we are able to understand and figure out where people are coming from, appreciate that they were able to share that with us, and figure out how we can find common ground. Both here at the center and outside of this center. Because the lower forms of gossip, judgment, complaining, talking behind people's backs, all that other stuff, that's mind stuff. Mind your own business. I'm minding mine. Mind your heart. Mind your life. Stand up and roar. And your life. Let's go into meditation.